If your career mode team by season 2 or 3 is some crazy super team competing for the Champions League, then you are doing career mode wrong. Yeah, you're not playing football, you are playing Ultimate Team with a budget, and I had to say it. And there's nothing wrong with it, but some people claim that they're doing realistic career mode, and this is exactly what they're doing. Teams don't sign players because they're 86 or 90 rated. They sign them because they solve a specific problem, either in the tactical setup or in the squad. So in this video, I'm gonna give you guys 5 tips. One extra tip that I have never seen anybody else use before, that I use specifically in my career mode to make my transfers very realistic, to keep it as realistic as possible. Now, I'll disclaimer this by saying you can only control your team. You can't control what other teams are doing. You can't control the unrealistic transfers that we obviously see in career mode, right? But at least you can control your team and keep things as realistic as possible. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, because I'm about to drop some real knowledge on you. Now get your pens and papers up and start taking notes. The first and the most fundamental aspect you have to consider before you do any transfers is your club profile. Be realistic and be honest about what your club is. Now, there are 3 main club profiles. You have the big club, you have the stepping stone club, and you have the selling club. Now, there are teams that are kind of in between and they are transitioning between one to the other. But for the purposes of this video, let's categorize them into those 3 categories. I will be using the Premier League as my league of reference because I believe most people will understand when I'm giving examples. An example of a big club: Manchester City, Liverpool. I almost said Arsenal. I don't know what I'm doing. Chelsea, Manchester United, big clubs, right? Then you have your stepping stone clubs. You get an Aston Villa. You get a Newcastle United. You get an Everton. Then you have a selling club. Selling clubs are Brighton and Hove Albion. You get Brentford. You have to know which club are we and what is our role? Is our role to go out, get young players, develop them and sell them off? That's what you do. Is our role to go and compete for the highest honors? That's what you do. And listen, if it's a case of you're taking a team that has a stepping stone club and you want to make them a big club, then you are in between that process. But that means if one of your top players get approached by Real Madrid or Bayern Munich, I'm sorry, he's gotta go. Club profile is not just about selling players, it's also about buying players. As I've already mentioned, if you are a selling team, you are likely to target prospects and younger players, diamonds in the rough. You may even target some top prospects from bigger teams that aren't getting that much game time. We often see like a top prospect from Chelsea or Arsenal or whatever who can't break through into the starting 11, go to a lower ranked team, to that selling team to get more game time, to get more exposure. So that's perfectly fine. Moving over to point number 2, and this is squad balancing, and this is all about balancing the age of the players. I see a lot of people just wanting the top prospect and all of your team is under 25 with the highest rated players. That's not realistic because that just never happens. It has only probably been on one case, and that's Manchester United in 1999, where they had very young players and ended up becoming a successful team. Most of the time, the top teams have a good balance of a few prospects, a few players in their prime, some more experienced players, some club legends. So it's all about balancing that out. Who's like your top captain? You can't just arrive and sell the captain who's been there for 10 years and is beloved by the fans just so that you can get this top Ecuadorian center back from the MLS or whatever. That's not realistic and that just doesn't happen. Now over to point number 3, and that is role-based recruitment. Recruiting players based on the role you're looking for. I can assure you there has never, ever been a situation where a team goes, we want a striker, let's go get the highest rated striker or the striker that scores the most goals. No, it's always about what do you need from that striker. Do you need a guy that's going to win balls in the air, who's going to be a target man, who's going to be a monster up top and hold the ball up? Then yeah, you probably need a guy that's like 6'2" plus, who is strong in the air, who is physically strong, can hold off defenders, who has a decent touch to him as well. That's what you prioritize. Maybe he's not the quickest, but that's not important to you. If you want a guy that's going to run in behind, who's going to play on the shoulder of the defense, then you need probably a smaller guy who's quicker. There are these freaks that can do a bit of everything, like an Erling Haaland, who can play in behind, who can hold the ball up, who can win aerial duels, who's clinical at finishing, but that's not really what teams aim for. You look for a role. Do you want a guy that's going to be a false nine? Then you're looking for a guy who probably has very good dribbling, very good passing, who is quick enough to still press teams. Is that what you want? You want a guy who's just like a pressing monster, who's not going to be too slow to close down players? Then you know what you're looking for. Role-based recruitment. For every position, you go in, you identify. I want a left winger. I want a guy that's right-footed, that has very good finishing, because I'm going to play him as an inside forward to cut in on a stronger right foot. Then you know what you're looking for. I need him to be quick enough to beat players on the outside to cut in. Then you know what you're looking for. I need a guy that's two-footed that I'm going to play on the left or on the right, because I need him to be very versatile. Can go on the outside, go on the inside, has decent crossing, has decent shooting. Then you're just looking for a unicorn. But when you do find that unicorn, it is special. Point number 4, market realism. Now, each career mode save is going to be different when it comes to this. And by this, I mean values of the players. I mean the amount of contract they have left on their deal, right? If a player is going into the final year of their contract, their value really does go down. You can get them for a lower value. If they are not getting as much game time, you can get them for a lower transfer fee, right? Their value does go down. However, if it's a player that's playing out of their skin and they're just lighting up the league every single week, you do have to pay that little bit extra. Don't offer the guy 10 million plus your 4th choice center back who you're never ever gonna play. And just because the FC system is so broken, they'll be like, hey, we think that's a good idea, just add a 7% sell-on clause. That's never gonna happen. Don't exploit the flaws of this game. Now, we know this game is very flawed, right? There's no two ways about it. It's very flawed, it's very broken, and it's easy to exploit. Just choose the right path, yeah, the narrow path that leads to good career mode saves. And then the final tip, okay, we're gonna have to keep this one a bit hush-hush. Nobody else does this, and I haven't seen anybody do this, right? So this is just between you and me, yeah? Limit the amount of transfers that you make. Now, it varies, right? Some teams make a ton of transfers in real life. Some teams don't make so many transfers in real life, but I have a specific number. One number for the summer transfer window, one number for the winter transfer window. Now, for the summer transfer window, I don't make more than 7 transfers. Some of you may know this who have watched my career mode saves. I think I've also mentioned it previously in certain videos. And in the winter transfer window, I don't make more than 3 transfers, right? Now, you could say 3 is a lot, but here's how I break it down. From the 7 transfers that I make in the summer transfer window, I never buy more than 3 players, right? That's 7 minus 3, that means there's 4 left. And from the 4, I only allow myself to loan in 2 players. Now we have 2 left, and that means those 2 can be free agent signings. I never allow myself to sign more than 7 players with that structure. That makes things more interesting. If you're like, okay, I can only buy 3 players, but I need 6. Now you're like, okay, I can only buy 3. Maybe I can loan 1 there and maybe sign a free agent for that position. It makes things interesting, and these are the types of decisions that managers deal with in real life. For the winter transfer window, I only allow myself to buy 2 players, and the other one can be a loan, because traditionally the winter transfer window does not have much business going on about it. And similarly with selling, I'm not going to go into a team and sell 10 players in one window. That's not going to happen, right? I may find a way to loan out a lot of players, just to be like, okay, you're not going to play, go get game time. We see teams loan out tons of players all the time. But as for selling, similarly, I limit it to around 3 or 4 sales per window. 3 in like the transfer window of the summer, and then maybe 1 or 2 in the winter transfer window. Again, it makes it interesting for, okay, who do I want to sell? Who am I going to get the most value out of? The contract situation as well. And I do like the fact that now players can reject contracts, right? Where if you've just given them a contract and a team pays their release clause, it's not that easy to just go in and give them another contract. They'll be like, nah, I'm good, man. Like, I don't want to renew, right? If they're not getting game time, they can be like, nah, bro, I'm not going to renew. Might as well sell me, or else I'm leaving for free. These are things that I can actually give EA some credit for. There have been some positives, and it makes you manage the squad better. I like, the random events now that happen within career mode. Some of them are a bit weird, but some of them add that layer of challenge. It really gives you that thing of like, oh man, I just want to deal with the football, but then all of a sudden this happens and there's a virus breakthrough in the squad and this guy is feeling depressed because his girlfriend broke up with him and like his baby mama. You get a lot of different kinds of drama in career mode, and I actually do like it. But those are my 5 tips on how to make your transfer side of things in career mode more realistic. Again, I said, you probably are still gonna see crazy transfers like Allison going to Nottingham Forest in the 3rd season. But as long as you're not doing it, as long as you're not contributing to this madness, I can forgive you. I can forgive you, right? And when you eventually get to the top, right? Well, in my case, it's never really eventual. If you get to the top, if you go on and win the league, if you go on and win the Champions League, you would have earned it so much. It would feel so much more rewarding. So those are my 5 tips. Let me know in the comments down what you think. Which ones are you going to implement, and any other suggestions? Because I've been doing these kind of videos where I'm giving tutorials in more depth on career mode, and people seem to be appreciating them and enjoying them. So do let me know which other aspect of career mode you want me to go into more detail on. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. I've been With You Crusher, and I'll see you guys next time.